Some things are not your fate, oh. Some things are God's response to your consecration. Let me give you some examples. Benson Idahosa had told God, would bless me. I will give you 90%. I will keep 10%. I don't think in his lifetime there was an African preacher that controlled more wealth than him. He practically had to die for others to be blessed. That's the human way of putting it. They began with a consecration. If you would bless me, I will give you 90%. I will keep 10%. And he will always say the 10% is too big for me to finish. He said, I've never been able to finish the 10%. He actually did live large. Houses, cars, and everything. He was a very flamboyant man. But some people don't know what depth of consecration was. Sustaining that. Because while you are arguing over 10%, somebody is giving God 90%. Now, I told you a story here some days ago of someone who was the head of protocol in his church. Every year, is it the head of protocol? Okay, let me not add details to it that are not part of the story. Every year, his role was to drive the guest speaker. Can you remember that story I told you? Every year. So he separates himself from every other thing to drive the guest speaker, the main guest for their convention. And that particular year, with this particular guest speaker, his daughter fell sick in school, in boarding house. So they told him, he had told them to take her to the hospital. And now, just at the close of the evening service, he was about to take the guest speaker to the hotel. And the wife rushes to him and said, they say the girl has died. Commotion. What are we going to do? The woman was sick. Now anybody, and this is why people that have a leafer in their life, they look mean and stern when it comes to keeping their consecration. When it comes to keeping their consecration. He said, well, I'm about to take the guest speaker to the hotel. Let me take him, then I will come back to see to that. The wife blocks. What are you saying? Our daughter has died. You are talking about guest speaker. It was commotion. But this is what he said that inspired me. He said, this is the only role that God has given me to play. So whether daughter is dead or not, please allow me to do what I have committed myself to God to do. At that point, the guy stepped in and said, okay, not even there. He entered the car, actually, left his wife, and drove to the hotel. It was at the hotel the guest speaker looked at him. What's the name of that girl? And called the girl back. Went up into his room. Now, the girl was not in the same town. Was several kilometers away. At the point they called her name, she came back to life there. By the time the man got back, the wife was rushing to him to say, they say she is alive. Now, I want to ask you, what do you think would have happened if he responded to the emotion and the emergency? Some things are not your fate. Some things are God's response to your consecration. An Ekanka man told my friend once, an Ekanka man, sometime in the 90s, anyway, it was the 90s. This man was deep into Eki ekishism. Is that how they call them? He was an ekist. But I think he was also combining many things. He was just a mystic into some of those arts. He told my friend, he said, if this your pastor Adeboye really lives the way you people say he lives, there's no way he will not have power. That's what he said. He said, in our realm, we know that there is a life you live to connect to spirits. And he seems to be living that life. So I don't doubt that he will have power. He was in his prayer closet one time, and his son was dying. So the wife came knocking. He has specific days he locks himself in that room. Will not come out until those days are over. His wife came knocking, bang, 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 bang. So and so person is sick. Take him to hospital. They took him, brought him back. The situation was getting, should I use my language, worse and worse. Until the woman began to panic. I just wanted him out of that place. And this is what he said. He said, put him at the door. The God, come alive. Now, these are not full-grown children at that time. He said, come and put him at the door. If the God I am discussing with here cannot touch him there, there's nothing else I can do. They came and placed the boy on the ground in front of the door. Now, at this time is a frustrated woman who thinks the husband is uncaring. After a few minutes, the boy got up from there. They never needed to pray for him or take him back to hospital. So there are some things that are God's response to your consecration. Come on, is anybody getting me? I know a businessman. I have mentioned his name too many times. I don't want to be calling his name anymore. No matter where he is in this world, and at this time he's totally global. He's operating at that global stage. He must be present to carry guest speakers around in his own car, because his car is normally the best car in the church. He drives cars like Rolls Royce, all those kind of cars. He has them. So he does not hand the keys to somebody else to drive them. He makes sure he drives them himself. Every time they have a convention, he must come back. So there's no degree of business meeting, no opportunities that open up during that period he attends on to. Then you wonder why he has always been going up. There are some people you don't fight because you don't know their transactions with God. See, every Christian must have private transactions with God that are peculiar to you. Do you know what some people have taught as doctrine were personal consecrations? I used to have this dear sister when I was doing youth service. Family house, wonderful place to be. I was Bible study secretary, she was prayer secretary. How many of you know those two positions used to clash? Because both of them are forming spirituality. And we were always clashing. One day we were at the dining table eating, and one of those arguments broke out again. And this time she lost her temper and banged the table and stood up. Bro Victor, I know God. God spoke to me. I heard him clearly. Please, what you are hearing in male voice, please put some treble to it. Her voice was very shrill. I know God. You know, that kind of thing. They thought, you needed to see me on campus when I was not born again. It's the jewelry and makeup. That was me. It's God that told me to do away with all those things. They are wrong. I said, sister, I now know where you are drawing from. All these scriptures we have been quoting, that's not where you are drawing from. I believe with all my heart you had that encounter. But Sister Molara did not have that encounter. That is your encounter. God told you to put away earring, jewelry, makeup. It's your personal consecration. It will be wrong to start teaching it to other people. The first thing God told me to put away when God said was martial arts. Is martial arts a sin? No. No. My friend in Warrenpa, Pastor Godwin, Reverend Godwin Abba, he has never put it aside. In fact, he runs a martial arts club from church. And he's still an anointed man. But I heard God. No, I actually did hear God. At that time. So if you're going to be a person of exploits, you must be a Nazarite. There must be personal contracts between you and God that guarantee a certain flow that is not available to every other person. Is this not on the basis of redemption? This is on the basis of transaction. It's on the basis of transaction. It's on the basis of transaction. Let me tell you the honest truth. There are some of my details you don't know. And it's not everything you say on the pulpit. Some things are too personal. There are even some of my transactions my wife does not know, as close as she is. She is permitted to keep the secrets between her and God. I'm also permitted to keep the secrets between me and God. It is based on that I know that you can't kill me. Nobody can kill me. If I ever die, it's a transaction between me and God. And Satan has done major things to try to get me to agree to die. If you ever hear that I die, don't ever let it not cross your mind that witches did it. They don't have capacity to do it. The most powerful occult person in this world, or occult group in this world, cannot kill me. I live when I decide to go. Praise the name of the Lord. Because when it comes to personal security and protection, that one is secure by consecrations. Okay, let me tell you. Don't let them go. I told you this one. This is just one of them. I have never, ever fought an authority figure in my life. N, capital N, E-V-E-R. He said, honor, obey your parents in the Lord, honor your father and mother, that it may be well with you and you shall live long upon the earth. Those are not things I joke with. There are three pillars to this thing. I've just told you one. The one you can apply. So untimely death is not for me. I think at a point I say, I'm the only one of my siblings that has never fought with my mother before she died. Because my mother was a character. If you want to fight, she'll give you the fight. And I'm actually similar to her temperament, so we would have clashed a lot. But God gave me that understanding years ago as a teenager. No. I'm the one that will calm others down. You don't. Mama there. She did this, she said this. That is your mother. It's not what she does. She is a covenant cover. So you stay under certain consecrations and certain things become impossible. Because God watches over his word to perform it.